All right, college football time again. Getting back into pass protection. I made the other video about checking the matchups and making adjustments based on the situation, based on different matchups among your line, potential gaps and stuff like that. That's one part of the puzzle. Other part of the puzzle comes down to you as the quarterback, which is the piece that you actually control after the snap. Which makes sense. It's a unit, and just because your line's all green, for argument's sake, doesn't mean you can sit back there for like 5-6 seconds waiting for routes to develop. You still have to have a counter going off in your head, depending on the situation. Generally it's like 3 seconds if it's a 4-man rush and you're blocking 5. If it's like a 5-man rush, you want to shorten that. If it's an overload blitz, you have to shorten that even further. You have to make faster decisions based on the situation. So timing's a big part of it. You also need to know how to move in the pocket. It's not just about drifting all the way back and hoping something gets opened up. I watch a lot of games online, and generally what people will do is something like this. All the way back, and then eventually get sacked like 10 or so yards behind the line. If you don't press anything at all, just leave the left stick alone, you'll see where the quarterback naturally drops, which is right here. And that's usually where your line expects you to be on a standard rush. Now, the player, what you want to be doing is you want to be stepping up specifically for 2 reasons. One, to make the throw easier, because throwing through open lanes actually removes the accuracy penalty, especially for shorter QBs where, you're throwing over the line or you're throwing deeper back, your accuracy is worse. You want to step up for that, but you also want to make it easier for your line to actually protect you, because they expect you to be in that general area, that little pocket right there. The drop back, I'm going to have to get rid of this because it's a blitz, change my timing. It is random defensive plays. So for example, here, assuming let's just cover 2, back, and then up. All the time in the world, that's like 5 seconds, which is a freaking eternity in football. You normally don't see that unless it's a 3-man rush. But you have to help your line out too. It's on empty, so the matchups aren't going to matter as much because they shift depending on the situation. I think awareness plays a role in this as well. But if it's like a cover 2 here, Tampa 2, probably step up, throw it. Ooh, I've never seen that little thing come up. The little overlay, that's cool. But yeah, normally if you're going to press a direction, you want to press up, climb the pocket. Obviously you want to be aware of matchups. If you look on the right-hand side, if I drop back, this guy is rolling to the outside. This tackle's normally keeping him out because he expects you to be around here, where the X is, for lack of a better term. If I drift back, he's going to get to me because I step up. And now he has to go through 69, who's still keeping him out. 76 is doing the same thing. Looking over here, 76 are trying to keep him out because he expects me to be, within the pocket of the O-line. They never expect you to drift all the way back, because when you do that, you're giving up protection. It's like they're not even there. You're basically saying, I don't trust you guys to block anything, which might be necessary if it's like a big blitz, like a 5-man rush, and it's like a stunt or something, and your line's not very good at holding the interior, then sure, maybe you need to roll out in that situation, but you shouldn't mindlessly be dropping back. You shouldn't mindlessly be scrambling. You got to trust your guys to some extent. Make the adjustments you need to make, know where the gaps are, step up into the pocket. Make your throw. I have everybody on conservative, so they're going to do that. But it's not so much about the throw, but it's more so about pocket presence, right? For the most part, my O-line can hold against this D-line. I am in dynasty mode. The team's not very good on either side of the ball. But again, this is the default depth where the normal step back ends. And then you step up, which gives your tackle the chance to actually keep the edges out off of your back. And depending on the adjustments inside, it gives you space in the middle as well. The only weakness in this case would probably be 66. I need to worry about him, but they have the They have the DT in the middle, the biggest threat, double teamed. Normally, when someone's double teamed, you can reliably shift towards that that zone or drift towards that area. It's pretty safe. We'll do a couple more because I think I've made my point here. I'm choosing one passing play just to keep it simple. If I wanted to go deeper, it'd be a similar thing. Cover 2. Again, step up, step up, step up, go X, and somehow catch it, even though that throw was awful. But, you know, you get the point. It's really about making it a habit, you know? When I started playing this in 25, you know, I would drift back to, I was still learning to, you know, it takes practice. You have to get used to it. Sometimes my line wasn't holding pressure and I wanted to know what was going on. So I came into practice mode and checked. Then I took time to look at the line, look at what I could do to help them. Looks like he's going to lose. He actually got him, surprised. But even if he lost, if he stayed up, he would have a chance to keep him off of me as I climb the pocket, because now he has to loop around and come get me there. If I'm all the way back here, then he's going to loop around and hit me here, right? Instead of needing to loop and then climb up and spend like an extra half second to get to me. And then even when guys are losing at the front, for argument's sake, you know, you still want them to at least engage. If you're going to get sacked again, you want to get sacked up here. Yeah, like the slot came in, or the slot DB came in. I didn't pick up that blitz. When he actually gets to me, you know, normally that would have been an amazing opportunity to get a throw off, but because we only have 5 blocking, and it looks like sim pressure, so we have 2 double teams there, he's free to get me. Even though I'm getting sacked, it's like what? It's like 2 yards. As opposed to being all the way back here and getting sacked for 10 and basically killing my drive. So hopefully you understand the point I'm trying to make, and I don't need to go much further. You know, again, you do want to make adjustments. For example, it looks like he's going to blitz. So buddy, I'm going to go ahead and pick you up. ID the mic, as they say. I'm going to assume he's coming in. Then I'm going to make the adjustment based on that. Of course, I need my hot reads. I need to double check to make sure everything looks good. And if it's going to be like a linebacker blitz, I have to get at the triangle. But again, see, same way. All the time in the world, pick up your, make your adjustment, step up. Even there, even if I didn't step up, I'm still in place. I could have stepped up to the left, but then I'm looking to the right anyway. And I know that my running back's going to pick him up. I just go ahead and stay where I am and get the ball off. If I wanted to hit X for whatever reason, I would have stepped up right here. I can get this off the guys. Yeah, I would have stepped up like right here. Running back would have picked him up. And there you go. Maybe even just stepped up like right to the left. But then you have to count it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's an eternity. Normally you should be thinking 3 seconds. Even for the deeper routes, because normally you're throwing them on the break and you're not throwing them... You're not throwing them when your guys are perfectly clear, right? Yeah, but you have to treat it like a unit. You can't treat them act like they're in a vacuum. They're all working together. You have to trust that your guys are going to try and help you out. You can't run away from the line. You know, like these guys on the right instantly lost, but I stepped up instead of drifting back here, which meant that they had to loop around to get to me. By the time they beat their block, the ball's gone. It's like 3 seconds, right? Counting again, 1, 2, 3, almost 4. Right. So it's movement in the pocket. It's actually trusting your line to block, making the adjustments if they're losing all the time, which means like a quicker pass game, shorter routes, getting it out faster, blocking, putting extra guys in the block to pick up anyone who loses quickly, and navigating the pocket effectively. You know, basically don't abandon it. Don't start scrambling as soon as a play starts. Stuff like that, right? Anyway, that's it. Should be clear enough for anyone who cares enough to watch it.